Hey everyone, today we're talking about something absolutely mind-blowing. Mark Zuckerberg just dropped a bombshell in Joe Rogan's podcast that has the entire tech world shook. Get ready for an exciting journey into the future of software development. Zuckerberg confirmed that by 2025, Meta will develop an AI that can code at the level of a mid-level developer. Let's pause for a moment and grasp what this really means.
I think this year, probably in 2025, we at Meta, as well as the other companies that are basically working on this, are going to have an AI that can effectively be a sort of mid-level engineer that you have at your company that can write code. And once you have that, then in the beginning it'll be really expensive to run, and then you can get it to be more efficient. And then over time we'll get to the point where a lot of the code in our apps and including the AI that we generate is actually going to be built by AI engineers instead of people engineers.
Think about it. Meta, a company with practically unlimited resources and the most advanced GPU infrastructure, is developing AI systems that can write complex code independently. And this isn't some futuristic fantasy. It's happening right now, right before our eyes. But what does this mean for the future of development? Will we even need human programmers in 5 or 10 years? These are the questions we need to tackle today. Interestingly, Zuckerberg is super optimistic about all this. In his chat with Rogan, he emphasized that this technology won't replace humans, but instead unleash their creative potential. He made a fascinating comparison to the Industrial Revolution. 150 years ago, most people worked in agriculture simply because they had to produce enough food for everyone. And now, only about 2% of the population works in agriculture, and yet we have more food than ever. What happened to everyone else? They moved on to more creative pursuits, and it looks like the same story might repeat with the AI revolution. Let's dig deeper. How will this change development itself? Will AI written code even be readable by humans? Will we still use traditional programming languages, or will something completely new emerge? Zuckerberg hints that we need to prepare for massive changes. The way software is developed could fundamentally transform. Instead of manually writing code, we might transition to working with AI agents that generate code in real time. Sounds like sci-fi, but given how fast AI is developing, it's totally realistic. What's particularly interesting is the productivity boost. Mark Benioff from Salesforce recently announced they won't be hiring any new developers in 2025. Why? Because their existing teams have become 30% more productive thanks to AI. That's absolutely what.
But I don't know. I think that'll augment the people working on it. So I mean, my view on this is like the future, people are just going to be so much more creative and are going to be freed up to do kind of crazy things. It goes back to, my daughter was like playing with Legos before and they kind of ran out of Legos. And then now she can have Minecraft and can build whatever she wants, and it's so much better. It's just like, I think it's the future versions of this stuff are just going to be wild. But, well, I think it's too early to know exactly how it plays out. But my guess is that it'll probably create more creative jobs than it. Well, I guess if you look at the history of all this stuff, my understanding is like 100 years ago. I don't know if this was 100 or 150 years ago, but it was like at some point not too far along in the grand scheme of things, like the vast majority of people in society were farmers, right? Because they kind of needed to be in order to create enough food for everyone to survive. And then we turned that into an industrial process. And now it's like 2% of society are farmers, and we get all the food that we need.
What we're witnessing is nothing less than a complete transformation of the tech industry. Consider this: when a company like Salesforce, which has been continuously hiring developers, suddenly says, we don't need any more. That's a real earthquake in the industry. But does increased productivity automatically mean fewer jobs? Not necessarily, and this is one of the most fascinating aspects. Zuckerberg sees this similar to the evolution of working hours. When agriculture became more efficient, it didn't lead to mass unemployment, but instead to shorter working hours and new professions. He believes that in the future, people will need less time for basic tasks and can focus more on creative and cultural projects. Imagine a future developer's workday. Instead of spending hours writing routine code, you focus on the truly exciting aspects of your project. AI handles the monotonous work while you deal with creative solutions. And this isn't some distant future. Many developers are already working this way with GitHub Copilot and similar AI assistants. Here's a crucial point: quality control. If AI writes the code, who reviews it? Will we need special AI systems to review other AI's code? Sounds crazy, but these are exactly the questions we need to ask now. Some companies are already experimenting with AI-powered code review systems that not only find bugs, but also suggest improvements. This transformation will also massively impact education. Universities and coding boot camps will need to completely redesign their curricula. The focus will shift from pure coding to effectively working with AI systems. This requires entirely new skills. Universities are already heavily using AI. Students aren't just learning to code, they're learning how to maximize their productivity with AI. This is the real future of tech education. The opportunities here are enormous. When each developer becomes 10 or 100 times more productive, it opens up completely new horizons. Sam Altman even predicts the first unicorn company with just one employee, all thanks to AI. That shows the incredible potential hidden in these technologies. Changes will also affect company structures. We're already seeing teams being reorganized. Take Salesforce, for example. Fewer developers, but more salespeople. Why? Because they've realized that technology alone isn't enough. You need people who can explain to others how to effectively use this technology. This trend will likely repeat across many industries. What particularly amazes me is the acceleration from idea to finished application. What now takes weeks or months of development could take days or even hours in the future. This will completely revolutionize how we approach product development and testing. Another key point is the democratization of development. When AI systems handle technical complexity, many more people will be able to create their own software solutions. Just think, doctors could develop medical applications without years of programming study. So what does this mean for you, whether you're in IT or planning to enter the field? My advice, start familiarizing yourself with AI tools now. Experiment with Cursor, Pythagora, and other AI-powered development tools. The future belongs to those who see these technologies as tools, not threats. The ability to solve more niche problems with fewer people might sound scary, but it also means more people can start their own companies and create innovative solutions. AI won't replace human creativity, but will become a tool that allows us to think bigger and tackle more ambitious projects. Remember, every technological revolution initially scared people, but ultimately led to greater prosperity and better working conditions. We're standing at the edge of similar changes. The question isn't whether these changes will come, but how we'll use them. You have the chance to be part of this revolution. Don't miss it. Pretty exciting, right? We're witnessing the beginning of a revolution that will completely change how we develop software and work. And you're here to see it live. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell to never miss a new upload. See you in the next one.